Hi everyone, I am Aishi James from School of Law, Modi University, working as a legal intern in Lexis Q and Company. Today in this video I am describing the second part of Doctrine of Pleasure. If you don't watch my first part, please go and watch my first part for understanding the second part. So let us discuss now in who has a right to be this protection. Why this protection is provided to the people working for the government. For the government servant cannot avail this protection, thus only certain people have right to be protected under provision of Article 311. These people are protected by Article 311. These members are Judicial Service of the Union, All Indian Service, Judicial Service of any state, people who hold a civil post under the Union or the state. By word civil service, it has been made clear that members of the armed force are not the part of the servant who are covered under the provision of the constitution related to the civil servant. Under the case of Purushottam Raj Dhingra versus Union of India, it was held that protection provided under Article 311 to be civil servant include permanently employed civil servant as well as temporarily employed civil servant. What are the exceptions to the protection? While protection has been provided under Article 311 of the Constitution to ensure that their interests are protected, these protections are so subjected to some expectations. When these expectations arise in the case, the protection cannot be claimed by the concerned servant. The following are the exceptions. First, if the civil servant have been not found guilty of a criminal offence, in such case the protection under Article 311 cannot be availed for him, and in such cases he cannot be removed for the misconduct without getting a chance of being heard. Illustration: A is a civil servant who has made convicted by the court for a criminal charge for a crime under IPC. In such case, when the inquiry is made for the charge against him, he may not be provided with a chance of being heard and he cannot be removed. And such removal is not amount to the violation of Article 311. And also, he also have removed without having an inquiry, and it will also be a valid removal. Let us discuss first in the case where the disciplinary charge with the task of looking into allegation made against the civil servant, thinking that it is not a practical to hold an inquiry for the same, he has the power to not to hold an inquiry in the case Union of India and other versus Tulsi Ram Patel and others on 11th July 1998. Explained the scope of the exception. The court observed that the determining the impracticability of holding the inquiry of the point of view of a reasonable man has to be used. If a reasonable man who is in such situation think that holding such an inquiry is not practicable, then such inquiry will not amount to the violation of Article 11. The last exception to be protected under Article 311 is a reasonable reason for security of the state. The right is given to the president and the governor of as the case may be, and whenever the president and governor is satisfied that it is not the interest of the security of the state to hold an inquiry, such an inquiry can be stopped from taking place. Here actual threat to be security is not the force of this exception, but only the satisfaction of the president and the governor about the risk of threat to be security is enough to be invoked this exception. This exception appears to be loophole against the protection of civil servant because satisfaction is a subjective concept, and therefore when a person may consider being a treat might be regarded to be a same by the person. Thus, to remove this problem, the government is required to inform the court about the nature of the activity of the civil servant, which is a basic for the president and the governor satisfaction. If the court finds the reason to be relevant, then the exception will be allowed it. But if the reason is not satisfactory or the government fail to disclose this information to the court, the validity of the removal of the civil servant not be upheld by the court and the exception will not be applicable in such case. What is the role of Indian judiciary on doctrine of pleasure? Judiciary play an important role in India by performing its function as interpreter of law. While the doctrine of pleasure has been adopted from the English law, judiciary has through various cases provided its judgment regarding the applicability of this doctrine in India. In case of State of Bihar versus Abdul Jamid, the rule regarding the maintainability of a claim by the civil servant arises for the salary and decided by the Supreme Court in England. But the rule was the servant could not be sued the crown for arrear of salary. The same was argued in the case a sub-inspector has been removed from his service on the ground of prejudice and rehired. Filed a suit for recovery the arrear of the salary, but the government contended that he cannot do so under the rule followed in the doctrine of pleasure. The Supreme Court held that the rule does not apply in India, and thus the sub-inspector might right to claim the arrear of the salary. Similarly, the court also made a judgment regarding the another important provision of the doctrine of pleasure in the case of Union of India versus Birbal Singh. It was held that the court has the power to examine the satisfaction of the government or the governor as the case may be. If any court finds the satisfaction is based on the such ground which was not in relation to the security of the state, then the court can have such a satisfaction to be based on irrelevant and extraneous ground, and the dismissal of the civil servant can be held invalid. Conclusion to this: while the doctrine of pleasure has been adopted from the British legal system, it been modified to suit in India context as the prevailing or social structure in India. The judiciary played an important role or key role in balancing the arbitrary aspect of this doctrine by this power of judicial review. While in England has a monarchy as an executive head, India elect a executive head to the election. So the principle the king can do no wrong is not suitable to the Indian scenario. Despite the judicial intervention, the exception to the protection can still be misused. Therefore, the intended to be review each and every instance of the arbitrariness. It would be better if certain guidelines are provided which have to be followed while availing these expectations. If these guidelines are not followed, the dismissal can be held invalid, which will provide speedy redressal to the aggrieved party. Thank you.